Yeah.
And you were talking about more of the that goes back into the professional development piece, right?
Yeah.
So for one, I didn't know that they also call, I guess, those counseling sessions as professional development. For me, professional development always meant honing whatever skills or tasks that you're doing to either perform that job or another job.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see that they incorporate that into professional development.
Mhm.
Do they kind of assess those peak times when they're doing it as well, or do they handle that differently?
Yeah, depending on who's hiring us. So say I'm going in and say I'm doing professional development through an organization, right? Then yes, I go in and I assess all their employees around their peak times, and then I make recommendations to their leadership in terms of how they need to be flexible about their work day so that they're optimizing their clients. But say I have individual clients that are coming in through maybe they're paying through their insurance company or they're paying out of pocket, and I'm doing their intake and I'm assessing where they feel like they have strengths in their lives, like whether it's in their career or relationships, their money, wherever the case may be, and then where they have some deficits, and then we start working on what those deficits are. So in counseling, we're also talking about money management, right? We're talking about finances. When people have goals around home ownership, there's emotional elements to that because maybe we came from a neighborhood where we didn't get to own our own home. We're military brats, so
Right.
maybe our parents got an opportunity to own their home, but maybe they didn't because we were always moving around and things like that, right? And so there's the emotional element of, oh my God, I might be the first person in my family to own a home, or I may be the person in my family who never owns a home, and there's emotions around that. That is separate than let us talk about what your financial goals are to get you to own the home if that's what you want, because we have emotions about money, right? You ever think about it, when payday comes, everybody's happy, right? It's
Right.
payday, I'm about to go do this, I'm doing that. 3 days later, if there's no money in that account, there are emotions around that too. And so when I say, for instance, when I do work with couples, I have to talk about money, and I have to talk about the emotions that come after the money, right? Because some people will spend money this way, some spend it that way, and that could actually be a reason that people divorce because they
Right.
spend
Right.
money differently. That's what they say. We're divorcing because we spend money differently. What they're really divorcing over is that they've never communicated around their emotions around money, when they have insecurities around money, or when they are too free with money, all that kind of stuff. So counseling isn't just the emotions behind just life. It's planning, it's life planning, it's having somebody who's going to consistently sit there and help you. They're going to be your accountability partner. They're going to be creative with how they approach you and things like that. So we talk about everything. I have individual clients who come to counseling because they want to leave their job, but they don't necessarily know how to leave their job. They don't know how to go and get a new job. And this isn't career counseling per se, but it's another element of what we do. It's the behavioral element of supporting them. The same thing with I had a guy come in, and he was a young guy. He was probably in like his early 30s, but he had decided that he was ready to get married. He didn't even have a girlfriend, Carl, but he was about to get married. So we had to think about, like, well, what are the things that he needed to do in order to find this person and to get married? And let me tell you, they got married. They got married, and he found his person, and, and he dated his person, and they got engaged, and they got married, and now they happy, and they better name their baby Linnell. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I'm saying is, people, especially in our community, people think that counseling is all it is. Like, oh my God, I'm crazy and I can't figure my life out. And it's not even that. It's anything in your life that you want support with. A counselor is going to be able to help you.
Okay. Okay. And sticking with the professional development piece, because that affects a lot of people when it comes to. Uh, so we have like teachers, first responders, even counselors and therapists, right? And us coming from being military brats, we see the burden that is taken on the vets and even those still active duty. Um, some of those either don't have people to talk to. They're actually taking in the burdens of everybody else and don't have a way to offload that, right? So they're not really having those conversations. So it's having that professional development set up for them to, what I'm saying, get into that space where they can I guess get mentally free and things like that. So
Yeah.
are you guys like, what is your take on that? Even especially the other thing is, especially with social media now, right? Everything is on the internet now. You can get at anybody. Oh, this athlete did score this touchdown. Let me go hit him up and tell him I'm gonna kill his whole family and things like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that people get depressed and things like that. And even
Hmm.
with the music industry, all entertainment, and it's taking a toll on everybody a lot more than it has in the past. Um,
Yeah.
but it doesn't seem like there's been a path forward set for them to either get the help or even remove that stigma around, hey, you should seek help. You're not crazy if you're thinking about getting help, and just opening that door, opening that window for people to start, just seeking that therapy that they need.
Yeah, yeah. So that made me think about a couple things, right? One of the things at Onyx is that I have an expectation for my counselors to also participate in their own counseling, right? And 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 that may sound weird to people. They're like, but you're a counselor, you can figure it out yourself. But that's not what counseling is, right? Counseling is to have somebody else to help you navigate life and navigate the world. Sure, I have all the techniques in the world to be able to help even myself, but that's not the point. The point is to be able to go someplace or to talk to somebody and just kind of unload that stuff. And that person doesn't judge you. They're not holding it against you. They're not doing anything except listening. And their whole goal is to just help you make your life as good as you want it to be. So, and I say that because even on our own social media page, I am always highlighting the fact that counselors need to be in counseling and clients need to ask their counselors, do you go to counseling? Because if the counselor themselves don't go to counseling, you might not want to trust that counselor
I
because they just hold
understand that.
that stuff in.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's happening, Carl, is that people, we don't have boundaries like we used to, right? Like back in the day, we had physical boundaries and social boundaries. So by that I mean when you went home from school, say you were in school and you got bullied, right? When you went home, those bullies didn't go home with you.
Right.
Home could potentially be your safe space. But nowadays, these kids have their phones, and their bully is on their phone, right? Their bully is on their social media, or their bully is calling them. Even when we were kids, we had a house line that everybody had to use, right? One phone that everybody had to use. And so maybe people couldn't get in contact with you, even if they were like trying to tease you or bully you by phone. They couldn't get in contact with you because you have other people in your house that are using that same phone. But because everybody has their own individual phones now, there's no boundary. The phones are with us all the time. They're with us when we wake up. They're with us when we go to sleep. People are taking their phones to the bathroom. The phones are with them all the time. So there's no boundary, and that's why we're able to access people a lot faster. So the truth is, counseling hasn't caught up with how fast technology is moving yet. We do counseling by phone, like it's a credential, it's a telemental credential. We do it by video and we do all that kind of stuff. But people don't have balance and boundaries yet. Everything follows them everywhere, including at work. When we were talking about professional development a second ago, bosses are emailing people at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning and expecting a response at 6 o'clock in the morning. That makes people anxious because they can't even sleep because they know as soon as they wake up, they're going to have 10 messages from their boss who's going to be asking them to do something. And then in terms of like these industries not providing mental health counseling, I think some of them are trying to get a little better. I don't think they're doing the best, but they're getting better. Like police officers, firefighters, the military is still a little slow. Like they're getting there, but
It's slow with everything.
slow with everything. And they're really afraid to make their folks vulnerable. They don't want their soldiers and airmen and stuff to get vulnerable because they're afraid that's going to weaken them for wartime, when it's actually the very opposite. But Carl, the group that I am actually really concerned about, because I don't think they're getting enough attention when it comes to the trauma that they experience, are teachers. Teachers are exposed. If a teacher has 30 children in their classroom and just 5 of those children have trauma, that teacher has to deal with 5 traumas every single day. because when a child has been traumatized, everything they do after that trauma is trying to regain safety again. They're trying to get equilibrium back in their life, in their emotional life. And so they're acting out in the classroom. They're, or they may be very attached. They're doing all sorts of interesting and weird things. Not weird. It looks weird to the layman, but it's not weird to us as counselors. Like, we know exactly what's happening. But they're doing all of these things, and the teacher has to deal with that. And they have to teach. And if they don't teach right, then the scores are low, and then they can lose their job. But nobody is helping them with the fact that they're experiencing vicarious trauma every single day. Or when teachers have to make CPS calls, or in different states they call them different things, but calls to like child and family services, or that's traumatic for teachers, and they're not getting the support that they need. The schools are not taking care of the teachers, and our teachers are getting burned out, and subsequently our students are getting burned out, and they don't have good quality teachers, and so we're not learning the way we should. And of course, for me as a counselor, everything comes back to mental health. So when we have low academic scores, it's because we have mental health issues that are going on and people aren't addressing it properly, right? So I think that some places are trying their best to do what they can, but there's many groups that are still being lost in the process, like teachers.
Yeah, I believe that as well. And it's good that you have your people making sure that they also get counseling as you're doing different things. Because like I was telling you before, like I had one of my guys who was a counselor. He committed suicide, which he
Yeah.
wasn't getting the help that he needed. Another guy that I played ball with, he OD'd, and I believe it was more so due to depression. You know what I'm saying? Things like that.
Yeah.
Even he, with